The role of Minister of Magic comes with a heavy weight and a lot of responsibility. If the person holding the position isn't strong enough to deal with such pressures, it can negatively impact that person's character. There have been many fitting ministers, that much is true, yet there have been those so weak and so unworthy that it does kind of throw into question the entire position itself. Albus Dumbledore is, as many, if not all of you know, one of the most powerful wizards of the age, and it's not crazy to wonder why that man has never been in the running to become Minister of Magic. Well, the fact is, he actually has. The question is, why he never took the position in the first place, and that's exactly what we're going to look at in today's video. Why Albus Dumbledore never became Minister of Magic. So if this is the video topic for you, then please make yourself comfy, keep watching, and most importantly, enjoy. Okay everyone, let's get this video started because there's a lot of interesting points to cover. Now, I've said in the video's introduction that the position of Minister of Magic isn't easy and that it's changed people for the worse. The best example being Cornelius Fudge, who became terribly paranoid and fearful of losing power and will go down in history as one of, if not the weakest minister of all time. Not to mention his successor Rufus Scrimgeour, who wanted to arrange one cover-up too many, also didn't do himself any favours. Albus Dumbledore is over 100 years old. He's well established and highly respected within the wizarding community, and it's no surprise he was offered the position more than once. What is surprising is the fact that he twice rejected the position, most recently just before Cornelius Fudge's appointment after Barty Crouch Sr. fell out of favour. Dumbledore was more than a perfect candidate. He had the experience, the leadership, the strength, the skill, and most importantly, he had the power. Power that commanded respect. Power that offered reassurance and stability. So why on earth would he turn it down? Well, there are actually several reasons as to why he didn't see himself fit enough to hold the position of Minister of Magic. Being minister would put him in a position of absolute control. Everyone would report to him and would be at his beck and call. Now, we've seen previous ministers manipulate certain situations and form alliances with certain people in order to boost their own position of likability in the public eye. Albus Dumbledore did not trust himself when it came to power. He lusted after it, craved it. He gave into those urges in his youth, and it cost him his family. The whole point of teaching at Hogwarts was to remain in somewhat of a self-isolation, to keep himself away from the lust of power, to keep him from embracing what had cost him so much. Now, it's not to say that Dumbledore didn't hold any positions of power. He did. He actually held two. He was the Supreme Mugwump of the International Confederation of Wizards, and he was also the Chief Warlock of the Wizengamot, positions which did require decisions which would have knock-on effects, much like the majority of the decisions a Minister of Magic would have to make. However, it wasn't control over the magical sector of Great Britain, an influence that Dumbledore felt he just could not be trusted with. It's no secret that Albus is a good man. I mean, he fought against and gave his life to stop Voldemort, there's no denying that. And if he was Minister of Magic, he'd be certain to do his best and do what's right. But he didn't believe that he'd be able to keep things that way. He worried that he would lose sight, and that old saying, for the greater good, would once again become a factor in his decisions after some time. The ministry was so corrupt on so many different levels, with certain individuals paying their way to gain favour. Lucius Malfoy had Cornelius Fudge under his thumb, thanks to his financial support. Can you imagine Dumbledore entertaining Malfoy and allowing him to be influential in his decisions if the money aspect was becoming a huge aid to several areas of the ministry that required such assistance? These are the decisions that may have been immediately dismissed at the start, but something that would or could possibly eventually wear down the man until he no longer knew the difference between using his position to gain more power politically and actually helping people. It wasn't just magical power Dumbledore craved, it was any and all types of power that he feared succumbing to. He also felt like he really had a purpose teaching at Hogwarts. He was widely respected by the students and his fellow teachers. As headmaster, he was even more influential than ever. He successfully created the Order of the Phoenix to combat Lord Voldemort and his Death Eaters, something that would not have happened had he actually taken the Minister of Magic position. He'd have never met Harry under the same circumstances either. He would have never discovered that Voldemort created Horcruxes, and wouldn't have been as near as influential of events that led to Voldemort's demise. In fact, Dumbledore would have been tied up with numerous other issues, and he would have been surrounded by dozens of yes men whose attempts to fill his ego might have actually started working, which leaves the question, would he have been the Albus Dumbledore we all know from the books today? Or would he be a completely different man, shaped by the pressures of the political environment of the magical sector? As I've said, that's what frightens him. However, something else that played a part in his refusal of the position was how dangerous he could have become. He was in control of the entire ministry. He had been persuaded by dark ideology before with Gellert Grindelwald, and in order to protect the magical community against continuous threats, especially the re-emergence of certain dark wizards, he could easily enforce such dark practices again, which would change the platform of the ministry in its entirety. With his lust for power consuming him, Albus Dumbledore could end up doing more harm than good. Wizards like Voldemort and Grindelwald went against the community because they went down the illegal road. Neither dark wizard were ever legally in a position of power to enforce the drastic changes that had so many people fighting for and against them. Can you imagine if Dumbledore wanted to create his very own army to preserve the prosperity of the magical sector? Now, I'm not saying that he'd become a power-hungry maniac and try to shape the world in his image by using his political and magical power to basically be someone not to cross, but it might not be too far off. That's what he didn't want to risk. I need to state this again, Dumbledore did not trust himself when it came to power. The truth is, we never have and never would have seen Dumbledore at full potential and full power because his self-control was all but non-existent. What makes Dumbledore better than most is the fact that he realises such a weakness and chooses to act on preventing it surfacing instead of embracing it like Voldemort and Grindelwald did, although I can't exactly be too sure that they consider that a weakness. Anyway guys, with that being said, that is my video on why Albus Dumbledore never became the Minister of Magic. I'm pretty sure I've covered the majority if not all of the reasons, but if you'd like to add anything else, then please do so in the comments section below. Make sure to check out my Riddle animated series discussion video for my upcoming series Riddle and Animated Story, all about the early years of Lord Voldemort. The trailer will be coming out pretty soon and I hope you enjoy it. I don't yet have an exact date, but I will soon enough. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, have a great day, stay indoors to remain healthy in these times, and I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, I truly appreciate your support. Everyone, notifications of uploads are more important than ever, so please, if you haven't already, turn those notifications on to make sure you're notified the moment my video goes live. Making videos is what I love to do, it's my dream and my passion, however it does cost time and money to produce this content, so if you have $1 to spare to support me on Patreon in exchange for some exclusive unseen content, then you can click the Patreon link below or at the end of this video. Please only support me if you can afford it. And make sure to follow me on Instagram at InstaDNJ and on Twitter at Folklore. Check out my other videos appearing on screen and please make sure, most importantly, to hit that subscribe button. Thanks again everyone and please have a great day.